All right, we are going to continue working on scale drawings. Today this is lesson 2. So we are just simply going to start out with our warm-up, which is a number talk. So it says find the product mentally. So no work, just simply solving it in your head. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Stand up before, if you finish before. Make sure you stand up when you are finished. All right, have a seat. So for the first one, 1/4 times 34, what was your strategy and what was your answer? Haley?
I put a 1 under 32 and then I got 8.
So essentially you got 32/4 and you divided it and got 8. Okay, perfect. All right, anybody do something different? All right, so the next one, 7 2/10 times 1/9. What did we do here? What was our answer? Start with that. What's our answer? Alexa,
7
that was your answer? No. That's the actual answer. Christian,
got 64 and 4/5.
which would be what? 64 and 4/5? No. Sorry.
I got 8/10.
Close. Yes. No. Close. What'd you get?
8.
Maybe I was wrong. Let me check. I could be wrong. Yes, you're right. Raheem, both of you guys are right. 8/10. All right, Raheem, what was your strategy?
So I just put the 7 and 2/10 over 9. And because 7 and 2/10 is the same as 72, just no decimal. So the answer is not decimal.
So essentially you did 72 divided by 9, not 7 and 2/10 over 9.
Yes.
And the reason I caution you for saying that is because you cannot have a decimal and a fraction, like, together. So you can't have 7 decimal 2 and then fraction bar 9. So saying 72 divided by 9 is 8, and then you added your decimal back in, that's fine. Yep, so that is perfect. So the answer for this one is 8/10. All right, the last one, what do we get? 1/4 times 5 and 6/10. Hannah?
I got 1.4.
1.4 1.4, so 1 and 4/10. Alright, did anybody get anything else? Alright, what was your strategy?
I multiply 5.6 by 1, and then I divided that by 4 in my head, and I got 1.1.
So you did 56 divided by 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. If you did not get those answers, please go ahead and get them down. This was 72 divided by. Alright, so scale, drawing scale factors. Tell me a little bit about scale, anything that we learned last Thursday. We did Thursday. So what do you remember, Christian?
Scale means it is the exact same, except it's just enlarged. Well, all measurements are enlarged or decreased.
Okay, so essentially they're equivalent. Okay? What makes a shape or object or whatever not a scale copy? Say it that way. Or,
When it's distorted,
and that means what?
when it's like,
Stretched, okay? Or shrunk or squished together. So keeping that in mind, that essentially a scale copy is something that is either multiplied by the same thing all the way around or divided by the same thing all the way around. Let's look at the corresponding parts. So it says here's a figure and 2 copies, each with some points labeled. It says complete the table to show the corresponding points in the 3 figures. So this is your original. Here's your copy number 1 and your copy number 2. Alright, so let's slide over to this table. So for copy number 1, for copy number 1, we're looking for the original point P. So where's point P located on our original copy? Jackson?
Point F.
No, where's our original point? Like, tell me where, like, so that everybody can find it.
Oh, like on the original?
On the original.
Like on the bottom. Like
So-
on the bottom right.
Right, so this technically right here is point P. So for copy 1, where's the exact same point on copy 1?
Point F.
So point F. And then on copy 2, where's that exact same point? So this was the same point, so where's the exact same point on copy 2? Mason?
point B.
Z. Okay? Alright, so now we're looking for line segments. So segment LM. So over here on our original copy, where is segment LM? Where is segment LM? If you want to use like a different color, you can to make it stand out a little bit. If not, you do not have to. Olivia.
It's on the left.
So right here? Okay, so now we're looking for things that are the scale copy of this darkened line right there. Alright, so for copy 1, what is our segment?
BC.
Raise your hands. So BC is our segment for copy 2, or for copy 1, and then for copy 2? Caleb?
BW.
BW. Alright, so now we're looking at our copy 1 and we're finding for the original and for copy 2. So we're looking for line segment EF. So line segment EF on copy 1 is right here. So I want you to fill in your chart for the original that matches this line right here and for copy 2. Give me a thumbs up when you have that done. Alright, so for our original, what is our line segment that matches that? For, and for the copy two? Alright, the next one, we're looking at copy two, we're looking for point W. I want you to go ahead and find and write in the table for the original and copy one. W is right here. Alright, Leve, what'd you get for the original? What point?
Point in.
Yes. And for the copy one, what did we get, Raheem?
Point C.
Point C. Alright, for the next one, you're looking for angle KLM in the original. So you're looking for this angle right here to the left, so then when, stand up this time, when you have those two angles lined up. If y'all are going ahead, which means then this next activity that we're gonna do, I sure hope that you are like super confident with this. Cause the next part of this activity is not easy. So keep going ahead and not listening, that's cool. That's not the grade she's gonna get though, just because of what she hasn't done since she's been here.
Right.
Okay,
So do we average that out?
I believe so, I think at the bottom it's 76% of the first 90.
Got it.
Yeah.
Alright, Jason, what is the angle for your copy one?
Okay, so it's ABC.
And Anthony, what's the angle for copy two? UVW. Okay, and then the last one, what's your angles? Christian? And the last one? Alright, so for 2, 3, and 4, you guys are gonna be doing this on your own. It says, for number 2, it's either copy a scaled copy of the original figure, explain how you know. Then for number 3, which I have to give you tracing paper, it says use tracing paper to compare angles KLM with its corresponding angle in copy 1 and copy 2. What do you notice? And then again, use tracing paper to compare angle NOP with its corresponding angle in copy 1 and copy 2. What do you notice? So I'm gonna grab that copy paper real quick. Should work on this. Alright, so let's go over some of the stuff that, you wrote down for 2, 3, and 4. Alright, put your pencils down. So, number 2 says is either copy a scale copy of the original figure. So what did you guys, excuse me, what did you say?
Scale one is copy one is a scale copy of the original one.
Why?
Because it's the same fact sheet, but it's just a little bit smaller.
Alright, what about copy 2? Christian?
Copy two is not because they do not have the same angle and yeah, that's it.
Alright, does anybody else wanna add why copy 2 does not work? Other than doesn't have the same angles?
Because it's distorted.
Alright, so number 3 says use the tracing paper to compare angle KLM with its corresponding angles in copy 1 and copy 2. What did you notice? So what did you guys notice about this? Jack?
Copy one is smaller in every way, and copy two is shorter but longer.
So copy 1 is smaller in all ways,
Yeah.
and copy 2 is what?
Shorter but longer.
Alright. Number 4 says use tracing paper to compare angle NOP with its corresponding angles in copy 1 and copy 2. What did you notice? Gabriel?
Copy one and the original have 90-degree angles, and copy two has an acute
So copy 1 and original have 90-degree angles.
right angle,
And copy 2,
has an acute
alright, anything else we wanna add to that one? We're good? Alright, go ahead, flip your paper over. Now, I apologize for the not good copies, so what I need you to do before you get started is to trace the triangles that you cannot see very well. Alright, once you have done that, please put your pencils down. Alright, so you are going to be working a little bit independently, a little bit as a group. So I need you to pay full attention to all of the directions. So like I said, go ahead, put your pencils down. So in a second, I'm gonna give you 2 of these triangles to look at, essentially, with the original. So it says for number 1, for each of your assigned triangles, is it a scale copy of triangle O? So this is your original copy. Okay? Be prepared to explain your reasoning for number 2. As a group, identify all the scale copies of triangle O in the collection. Discuss your thinking. If you disagree, work to reach an agreement. Number 3, it says list all of the triangles that are scaled copies in the table. Record the side lengths that correspond to the side lengths of triangle O listed in each column, which this is the table they're talking about. And then the last one, number 4, says explain or show how each copy has been scaled from the original. So for number 4, the table will help you a lot with this to make sure that you essentially are, why do I see pencils in people's hands? Nobody should be doing anything. You don't even know what triangle you have yet. You can do this whole thing independently if you want. I have no problem with that. Like, not a single one. Or you can put your pencils down and you can listen. This will help you as well as determining, like, think about what we did on Thursday, how we kind of made smaller F's or bigger F's, or we figured out, like, what was the shape you did? I don't even remember. This one. We were looking at the face of the kid. Just think about those things, what we did to figure out what was a scale copy and what was not. Are there any questions with what you're doing for 1 through 4, sorry. Okay, so again, people with their pencils in their hands, you guys can have silent lunch because I don't understand what you don't understand about this pencil now. Are we hard of hearing today? Alright, raise your hand if you're in Anthony's seat, please. Anthony, raise your hand. So if you are sitting in Anthony's seat, I need you to raise your hand. The triangles that you have are A and B. Write that on your paper. Aubrey, raise your hand. Everyone who's sitting in Aubrey's seat, raise your hand. River, raise your hand. So you are looking at triangles B and F. Everyone sitting in Gabriel's seat, raise your hand. You're not in Gabriel's seat, Alias. You're not in Gabriel's seat. Cooper is. Alright, you guys are C and G, and then my last person, you guys are D and H. Back there, you can just split up the last one. So like 2 of you can look at 3, and 1 of you just look at 2. So like, you can look at, like if you're A and E, add D to that one. If you're B and F, add H to that one. It's not a big deal, just pick one extra. Alright. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes or so. It started. should be working as a group by now for number 2, because it says as a group, identify all the skilled. Let's go, y'all.
I got beats. He is a skilled non. It should be exact same way.
You guys have 35 seconds.
Yeah, but I said
It is not. Okay.
all the right time is
Just 3 nights late.
I didn't say that all the I didn't say that all
I mean, it's the right side.
I said that
Hold on. Stop talking for a second. Are there any clarifying questions you need answered? Listen, put your pencils down, y'all.
For B, it's the exact same thing as the original. So would that count as a scaled copy, or I don't think so because it's not like it's scaled.
No. You're not clarifying. I'm clarifying. Brenna.
I don't say question.
Okay. Any other questions that you might need a possible answer to? Christian, why is your pencil still in your hand still? You are going to get more time to continue working. There was some good discussion I heard. Just make sure you are disagreeing politely to each other. I'm gonna give you an additional 2 minutes. Go.
Oh, bro, he is not a skilled company.
How's that? I just said be polite. That's not polite.
Yes, but we said I didn't get a scaled copy. And it didn't I never said I said all. But you divided.
It's just divided by 2.
What? Oh yeah, it is. Only scale
but-
copies are trying. Right?
Or are you guys doing right?
Yeah, these.
Oh, that's fine. I got
F
F.
is but I just forgot F.
F is 9.
No, F is
I just already got it. It's 9.
Because it's still wait.
Wait, aren't we already?
Wait, hold on. F?
No, it's not.
Yeah, F is
Okay, anybody get G?
Yeah.
E6.
Wait, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just, yep.
All right. Put your pencils down. So, did you agree or disagree that your triangle was a scale copy? So everyone who was the first two, which were what? A and E. Did you have a scale copy for either A or E to the original? I'm looking for the people who are, like, everybody in Aubrey's seat. This question is for you.
It was Andrew.
Sorry, Anthony, I apologize. Anthony's seat, sorry. That's why Aubrey's looking at me like I'm crazy. Yeah,
E is just multiply by 2 by.
I don't need any information, I just simply need yes or no. And then E, okay? So for B and F, my B and F triangle people, was there one that was a scale copy to the original? Jeremiah?
No.
River?
Yeah.
Which one?
B.
Yes. All right, for my C and G people, is there a scale copy there?
No.
Ethan? G.
Oh.
And for my D and H people, was there a scale copy there? Christian?
Yes.
D, yes. So, the ones that are scale copies of the original are B, D, E, and G.
What?
Okay, we're about to talk about it. Stop letting me. Good Lord, children. We're going to discuss it. All right, so as a group, for number 2, it says, identify all the scaled copies of triangle O in the collection, which we just did, and discuss why you feel like these are the same, or just kind of talk about the discussion you had with B, D, and E. Now, I want to talk to Raheem's group for a second. Because y'all were like super intense about something. And I want to know why you were super intense. So originally Cooper thought Joseph said that all the right triangles were scale copies. Why is that not true? Why is that not true, Cooper?
Because like all the measurements and the sides, the numbers, they have to either be, they have to like divide or multiply or whatever by the same exact like times 2 or times 3 or divide by 2 or divide by 3 to be a scaled copy. But the ones, that's why I thought he said that, but he said the other way around. But that's why I was like, C's not, because even though it's a right triangle, the measurements aren't correct.
But I said that all the scale copies were right triangles.
I'm sorry, I'm super distracted by some very rude classmates. Ace, if you can't be here today, baby, step outside. It's completely whatever you want. Like, you have not been the normal Ace. So either get it together or don't. You are correct. And you have to be careful with that because you can't just assume because it's a right angle or a right triangle that it is going to be the same. How many of you guys, that was kind of your mindset at first? Okay, and that happens because we just assume a right triangle has to be the same as the other right triangles.
Yeah.
But because of the clarification that Cooper told us it's got to be multiplied by the same all the way around, or divided by the same all the way around. All right, number 3, it says list all the triangles that are scaled copies in the table. Record their side lengths that correspond to the sides. So for triangle, let's just start with triangle B. What were the lengths of the sides? So, and you have to make sure they match up to the ones here. Jackson.
3, 4, 5.
So 3, 4, 5. Make sure you have this in the correct order. All right, for triangle B. What are the numbers that go in there? Cooper.
The first one was 3 over 2, and then 2, and then 5 over 2.
Okay. For triangle E. Gabriel, sorry.
6, 8, 10.
And triangle G. Cooper.
2, 8 thirds, and 10 thirds.
so again, please make sure that you get this information and it is correct. Alright, and number 4 says explain or show how each copy has been scaled from the original. So with this one, you're kind of telling me, for example, like triangle B. How is it scaled to the original? How is triangle B scaled to the original? Mason?
Exactly.
It's the exact same. Alright, what about triangle D? How is that one scaled?
I have a question about B.
Mhm.
So can you just put ×1? Or
Yeah, I mean, you can put ×1 or you don't have to put times anything because you don't have to do anything.
okay, and then for D it's divided by 2.
So divided by 2 or multiplied by half. Okay? What about triangle E? Triangle E. ×2, yep. And the last one, triangle G.
Multiply by 1.5.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Sounds tricky.
This one's a little bit harder. Jason,
Multiply by 1/3.
close. Close.
2/3.
Alexa. Yeah. So it's times 2/3. Alright. You are possibly going to want to look at your notes today for your cool down today. Okay, I will allow you to do that if you want. If you're like, nah, I don't need to, that's fine as well. Please make sure you glue this into your notebook. Please stop moving. Please stop moving. Or just keep moving, that's cool. Stop moving. There were approximately, not a good number either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people that did not get their match and math done last week. That's not including the people that were sick, those people were exempt. 14 people. That's almost half the class. It is for a grade. And I don't know how to emphasize it. Y'all think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. You keep getting zeros, it's gonna be a big deal. Like 100% a huge deal. You're still moving. You're gonna have silent lunch tomorrow and think about why we don't move when I talk. So once you're done with your pull down today, you are working on Imagine Math. You guys cannot continue to get zeros. Not this early into the 9 weeks, and especially if you did not do good on your mid-assessment. It's not gonna be, you're digging out of a hole that is so deep that you're not gonna be able to dig out of it. Does that make sense? So Imagine Math is super easy to just get your 4 lessons done and be done with it. Make sure that you turn your pull down in today into the 3rd period bend, and I gotta find it to pass out. And then you may move around the room if you would like when you're doing your Imagine Math, but you just need to be working quietly. Please make sure that you throw the tracing paper away. I do not want to find it all over the room. Yes, give me 1 second though, hold on.